I mean, I always said I wasn't gonna get pregnant. I always said I wasn't gonna have kids. I was 7 months pregnant when I got here. I came from Warner Springs High School. It's a really small school and a really small town. There wasn't really much help for me there. The kids that I went to school with, basically they just want to go on and talk about how I got pregnant. It's just like, oh my God, her life is over. Like, they just kind of tried to put me down. The principal told me that I was a distraction to everyone else because I got pregnant.
Now we're going to work it out. So what would you get?
I decided to get out of Warner Springs because I wanted to graduate, obviously go to college, and there wasn't help there for me. Both of my parents work, so I was like, there's no way I could go to school. That's why I looked up on the internet if there was a school that could take in pregnant teens and I could take the baby with me. The first day I got here over at the high school, I was trying to hide my stomach. I was like, no, because what if they start the same thing as my other school? But no, I wasn't like that. I was so amazed. I was just like, oh, okay, this is gonna help a lot. If I would have stayed in my old school, I would probably not graduate because I would be alone at my house taking care of the baby. Out of my whole experience, if I had to think someone, it would be Kelsey because, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't know where I would be right now.
When I was growing up, my mom moved us a lot. We moved like 3 times per year. It was really hard to, like, especially on me. Like, I kind of like lost my self-esteem, and it was really hard being a new girl too. I was a freshman when I got pregnant from my first daughter, Isabella. And then I didn't really want to go to school anymore.
Why?
I guess I kind of gave up on school, and like I really didn't have that much support. Like my boyfriend didn't really want me to go to school anymore, and that kind of made me feel bad. Kind of like got stressed out, kind of like believed, kind of like was getting convinced by him not to go to school anymore. But when I was pregnant for my second child, I don't know, one day it just like hit me. I was like, I need to go to school in order to get a diploma.
So what is your advice to those who are still going to be here for a year or two to graduate?
Just to keep going to school, no matter what they're going through, just to come to school. And I don't want my daughters to like live like those places where I used to live, like where there was people selling like drugs and like shootings and stuff like that. Yeah, I want much more for them. I don't want them to like, I don't want to raise them the way I was raised.
Even when I was 13, I felt like I was a parent already because I'll be taking care of my brothers at a young age. My mom didn't actually care, like leaving her kids, not taking care of them or nothing. Like one time my mom decided to go to TJ for 4 or 5 days. Meanwhile, at home, she left her kids, her 4 kids, starving, without food. She did give up with us since we've been really, really young. So when I got pregnant at 15 and had my child at 16, I felt like a parent anyways. When I found out that I got pregnant, I didn't tell my mom. She eventually found out by herself. And she screamed at me one day that I was a messed up, a dropout, a low life. So eventually I ran away. I dropped school too. After I gave birth to Jasmine, I have nothing at all. I didn't have a crib, a swing, bottles, formula. I'll be stealing it. Nope, I did not plan that at all. One day, a letter came from the school district saying that if I didn't come to school, they'll drop me out. My reaction was like, I can't be dropped. I can't. I don't want to be like my mom. You know what she told me, those words saying that I was going to be a low life and not graduate. I wanted to prove her wrong. So the next day, I came to Rachel. I want a better life for my daughter. That's why I came back to school. how I suffer, I don't want my daughter to suffer.
Jennifer Bucio Aguilar.
I'm the first one to graduate from my family. I'm going to college, no matter what. No one's gonna stop me.